the education industry, alternative assessment or portfolio assessment is in direct contrast to what is known as performance evaluation, traditional assessment, standardized assessment, or summative assessment. So, in the education industry, alternative assessment or portfolio assessment stand in contrast to performance evaluation, traditional assessments, standardized assessment or summative assessment because it focuses on a more holistic and individualized approach to evaluating student learning. Next is alternative assessment. It is also known under various other terms including authentic assessment, integrative assessment, holistic assessment, assessment for learning, and last is formative assessment. So, the authentic assessment is this term highlights the real-world relevance of the assessment task. Students are asked to apply their knowledge and skills in ways that real-life situation. Second, integrative assessment. This approach emphasizes the interconnectedness of different learning areas. Assessments are designed to assess students' understanding across multiple subjects or disciplines. For example, a project on environmental issues might require students to apply concepts from science, social studies, and language arts. And third, holistic assessment. So this term emphasizes the importance of evaluating the whole student, considering their strengths, weaknesses, and overall progress. Assessment for learning. This approach focuses on using assessment as a tool to improve student learning. Assessments are used to identify areas where students need support and to guide instruction. Feedback is provided regularly to help students improve their understanding and skills. And last is formative assessment. So this type of assessment is conducted throughout the learning process to monitor students' progress and provide feedback. It is used to identify areas where students need support and to adjust instruction accordingly. Authentic assessment gives students situations that occur in the real world which require them to apply their relevant skills and knowledge. So, the phrase describes key characteristics of authentic assessment. So, it means that instead of asking students to recall facts or perform tasks in academic setting, they are presented with scenarios that mirror real-life situations.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm the second reporter. I'm Lindy Tenaldo, and now I'm going to discuss the characteristics of authentic assessment. First, requires students to develop responses rather than select from predetermined options. So this approach encourages deeper understanding and critical thinking skills. So it allows students to express their own ideas and their perspectives. Second is elicits higher order thinking in addition to basic skills. So it encourages students to not just recall facts but also analyze, evaluate, synthesize information, and apply knowledge in real-world scenarios. Third is directly evaluate holistic projects. Holistic projects directly classroom instruction. Authentic assessment in a classroom means designing tasks that closely mirror real-world situations, requiring students to apply their knowledge and skills in a meaningful way. And the fifth is use the sum total student work or portfolios collected over an extended time period. So, a key characteristic of authentic assessment is the use of collection of student task work samples or portfolios gathered over a significant period of time, allowing for the evaluation of student growth and progress in their skills and understanding. Stands for clear criteria made known to students. So clear criteria for students for authentic assessment should be made known to students to ensure fairness and transparency. So the criteria should be the SMART, the specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bounded. Allows for the possibility of multiple human judgment. Multiple human judgments can introduce complexity. It also allows for a richer and understanding of student e-learning. Relate more closely to classroom learning. So authentic assessment refers to classroom learning. It's not just about real-world relevance, but also about how it connects the actual learning experience that students have in the classroom. Teaches students to evaluate their own work. One of the key characteristics of authentic assessment is that it actively engage or encourage students to evaluate their own work. These characteristics of traditional assessment methods, they cannot be called fair. So the goal of assessment should be to promote learning and provide valuable feedback to students. Traditional assessment methods can sometimes fall short of being fair when compared to authentic assessment. Even if the tests are inappropriate in the context of the students, they are forced to accept the assessment method used. And the last one is a test is fair when it is appropriate, that is, when it is personalized, natural and flexible, when it can be modified with pinpoint specific abilities and function at the relevant level of difficulty, and when it promotes a support between examiner and the students. So authentic assessment is a more equitable and student-centered approach to assessment. So it recognizes that students are individuals with diverse needs and learning styles. By embracing authentic assessment, we can create a fairer and more engaging learning environment for all.
Hey, good afternoon everyone. My name is Professor Marcelo and I am the third reporter of Good afternoon everyone. My name is Francisco Marcinello and I am the third reporter. First bullet is authentic assessment is designed to be a criterion reference rather than norm reference. If such as evaluation identifies strengths and weaknesses to provide comprehensive understanding of performance or capabilities, this is the process helps in recognizing areas of excellence which can be success for areas needing improving, which can be addressed through the target strategies of intervention. So, authentic assessment is designed also to the criterion reference rather than norm reference because it evaluates learner performance against a specific criteria of standards rather than comparing it to the performance for other. So the second is such as evaluation identify strengths and weaknesses but does not compare or rank the students. So, understanding of performance of capabilities for students this is the process helps can recognize areas of leverage for success and areas is needing to improve, which is the authentic assessment. So the third is the assessment of procedures does not determine in advance the number of the students who will pass or fail in giving course, as in the case of norm reference system. So despite these challenges, the authentic procedure rather, considering the culture and the contextual factor, task might be not equality and resonate with all learners due to the differences is in culture or contextual relevance, leading to potential bias. So, authentic assessment often based performance. So, authentic assessment based on performance because it is requires learners to actively demonstrate their knowledge, skills, and competences in real life work. Tapos, they can be stimulated tasks to approach, emphasize applying meaningful context rather than merely recalling. Just for example, examples of performance-based tasks is conducting experiment or research projects, writing reports, and creating presentation. So, second is students are asked to demonstrate the knowledge, skills, and competences. By focusing performance, authentic assessment encourages deeper learning and prepares the learners to apply their abilities in real world. So the fourth is they include the managing and at times intensive nature, ensuring curricular validity and minimizing graduator bias. So the student can be multitasker and be flexible, and the student can set their approach for the managing their time intensively. The example is their approach to the assessment and encourages to take ownership of risks and criteria. Classroom assessment techniques. First, classroom assessment techniques includes the class of assessment procedure called action research. So the classroom assessment techniques or CAT includes the class of assessment procedures known as an action research, or is reflective and systematic process where educators investigate their teaching style or practices of the students' learning. Or classroom dynamic to identify areas to improve and implement evidence based on the strategies. So the key for the classroom assessment techniques is the problem identification, then the data collection, intervention, implementation. So, second bullet is it is techniques a teacher uses varieties of tools and practices that allow the assess accurate and relevant information about the quality of the students' learning and the quality of the teaching as well. So, in a classroom assessment techniques, as a teacher, user a variety of tools to gather data about the students' learning, engagement, and progress. These tools help the teacher assess the different aspects of the learning and adapt the teaching method accordingly. So the common tools known to use the classroom assessment is the observation, the quizzes, tests, portfolios, survey, and questionnaire.
So good day everyone. I am Aizumin Video and I am the next reporter. So the main goal of classroom assessment techniques is not to grade a discussion and dialogue between the students and a teacher on the quality of learning process and thus find ways and means to improve the process. So CATS or classroom assessment techniques are like a conversation between a student and a teacher about how learning is going. They use them to figure out what parts of the lessons are working, what parts are confusing, and how they can make things better together. It's not about getting a grade, it's about making sure everyone understands and enjoys learning. So next is classroom assessment techniques provide both teachers and students with in-process information on how the students are learning what the curriculum intends. So it states that it's like getting a progress report on how the students doing in class, but not just at the end of a unit. So CATS let the teacher and a student see if a student understand things as they go along. It's like checking into make sure they are on the same page and making sure they're getting the stuff they need to learn.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the continuation of our topic. So, 3 basic questions CATS are asked. Number 1 is, what are the essential skills and knowledge I am trying to teach? So, this question forces teachers to clearly define learning objectives. It's not enough to say, I'm teaching about the American Revolution. So, teachers need to identify specific skills and knowledge students should gain. The number 2 question is, how can I find out whether students are learning them? So, this prompts teachers to think about how they'll measure student understanding. So, CATS are designed for formative assessment and ongoing feedback to guide teaching. This question encourages teachers to use techniques that provide with reliable information about students' learning. And the number 3 question is, how can I help the students learn better? So this is where the rubber meets the road. Teachers must use assessments data adjust their teaching. So the CATS or help teachers identify learning gaps and tailor instruction to meet individual needs. So the basic steps in classroom assessment techniques. So the number 1 is choose a learning goal to assess. So before you can assess, you need to know what you're assessing. So this step requires teachers to be specific about the learning objectives they want to measure. So example of this is, instead of students to learn about the solar system, teacher might choose to assess students will be able to identify the order of the planets from the sun. The number 2 is choose an assessment techniques. So this is where you select the CAT that's appropriate for the learning goal. There are many different techniques, each designed for different purposes. So example for this is, for the learning goal above, a teacher might choose a 1-minute paper where students list the planets in order. Number 3 is apply the technique. So this is the actual implementation of the assessment. Teachers need to administer the CAT in a way that is clear, fair, and efficient. Number 4 is analyze the data and share the results with the students. So after collecting the data, teachers need to analyze it to understand student learning. This might involve areas of strength or noticing patterns in student responses. Sharing the results with students helps them understand their own progress and provides opportunity for reflection. And the last one is respond to the data. This is the crucial step where students use 2 assessment data to inform their teaching. This might involve the re-teaching a concept that students struggle with, providing additional practice on a skill, adjusting instruction strategies based on the students' needs, and And number 4 is providing individual feedback to students. So in summary of the 5 steps of CAS, create a cycle of continuous improvement. So number 1 is define what are the learning goals. Number 2, assess are students meeting those goals. Number 3, analyze what patterns emerge from the data. The number 4, share. Help students understand their own progress. And the number 5 is use the data to make informed decisions about instruction. So this iterative process helps teachers refine their teaching, ensure that understanding and ultimately improve learning outcomes for all students.
Good day, sir. This is the last topic of our teachers' menu of evaluation tools. Assessing student learning, teachers have a variety of tools at their disposal of effectively assess student learning. These tools can be used to understand student prior knowledge, identify areas of confusion, empower students to self-assess, determine learning styles, and target specific skills for development. Here's a breakdown of evaluation tools aligned with the 5 key areas we have outlined. The first one is check the student background knowledge. Example is pretest. A simple pretest can quickly gauge student existing knowledge about the topic. This helps teachers tailor their instruction to address any knowledge gap. The second one, identify areas of confusion. For example, is exit slips. Quick informal assessment at the end of the lesson. Exit slips allow students to summarize key points, ask questions, or express areas of uncertainty. This provides valuable feedback for teachers to address in subsequent lessons. The third one, enabling students to assess their learning level. For example, is rubrics. Provide clear criteria for assessing students' work, allowing them to understand the expectation and evaluate their own performance against those standards. This encourages self-reflection and promotes ownership of learning. The fourth one, determining students' learning styles. Learning styles inventory of the example of menu of evaluation tools. Various inventories and questionnaires can help identify prepared learning styles such as visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and tactile. This information can guide teachers in creating diverse learning experiences that cater to different learning preferences. And the last one, targeting and building specific skills. Example is diagnostic test. Diagnostic tests can pinpoint specific skills gap and identify areas where students need targeted instruction. This allows teachers to create individualized learning plans that address specific needs. The second one is if classroom assessment techniques is used in the classroom settings, the teacher often finds that the result of his investigation can be shared with other teachers who are similarly situated. It therefore becomes necessary to publish his findings and thus contribute to the field of knowledge and to the list of best practices in teaching. Classroom